All right, my name is Paul Eldridge. I'm going to be emceeing the evening here this evening, and I had nothing to do with that noise. I just ate a little too much Puckett's meat, and that's what happened. So I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody that was in range of that. That's my bad. It happens at my age, so that's the way it goes. But well, how about this? How many of you have never been in this room before? Isn't this wonderful up here? Yeah, let's thank Puckett's and all the service staff and everybody over there getting the food. Great time, and this is just an exciting thing that we've kind of put this event together here over the last few weeks, and we didn't know if anybody was going to come out at Christmas time. If you've had 14,000 special events, you've eaten like pigs, and then it's a Monday night. Are you just going to hunker down for the winter? And no, you guys just said, no, we want more food. We haven't stuffed ourselves nearly enough. Are there any more cookies? Yes, we'll take those too. So we're so glad that you came out to be a part of this wonderful benefit. You're going to hear about some of the great causes we are supporting tonight. This is fun for me because I spend my life mostly performing somewhere all alone and traveling by myself. And then here, this all came together, and I get to work with half a dozen friends that I maybe just see in passing throughout the year, and then we all get to do a show together. So this is a real treat. So my first friend coming up here, Alex and I, we met a few years ago, and he's the only guy I know that can make a living traveling around the country, playing primarily churches, but all kinds of different special events as an instrumentalist. And let's just thank God he's not singing for us tonight. Trust me on this one, okay? Trust me. But Alex he's a touring musician, travels all the time. You traveled through Atlanta today to be here. We were kind of nervous about getting here, but he's made it. So please welcome Alex Jolt.
Let's try that again.
Is it something I said in the intro? Was it the... Yeah,
It may have been. There's popping noises all over.
Yeah, I see. How many thought it was fireworks? How many?
I did too. I thought so too.
Yeah, let's just believe it was fireworks, shall we? Kind of some Christmas magic belief there. Okay. What do you think? You ready to give it a shot?
Let's give it a shot again.
Okay, take two.
love patriotic music. Yeah, I wish we could have done real fireworks inside here. Wouldn't that be fun? So good to be here. I actually had 2 concerts yesterday in Sarasota, Florida, and I told Mike, the producer of this event tonight, that I'm a little scared that if Delta messes up, I might not be able to make it. So I'm glad to be here. My name is Alex Jolt. I'm a musicianary at heart. This is my 24th year in ministry on the road, and I've been to churches and the Walt Disney Company. I've done events where I get to share the gospel even there too, and presidential museums and libraries. And I love patriotic music. I'm first American born. My parents came from Hungary. My mom, you have to talk to her and listen to her accent sometimes. She has a nice European accent over there. And my brother served in the Army, and my nephew came back from 2 years in South Korea just this past year. So one of the things I wanted to do on the album was to do a tribute to troops past and present. So you're going to hear a little bit of American history, followed by the theme song for that branch. If you hear your branch, if you served or your family served, or if you currently have family serving, or if you serving now yourself, when you hear that theme for your branch of the military, would you stand so we can thank you and your family for that sacrifice and love on you? There's a lot of troops that won't be home for Christmas, and let's keep them in mind as well.
The United States Army. In World War I, 4,057,101 soldiers served valiantly on the field of battle. To all the men and women of the Army throughout our history, our salute.
In World War II, 4,183,466 men and women answered the call to protect our country. To every member of the Navy on every battlefront, we salute you.
United States Coast Guard. During the Korean War, 44,143 members of the Coast Guard fought bravely for freedom's preservation. To the many generations of Coast Guard veterans, our gratitude and our salute.
States Marines. In the Vietnam War, 794,000 Marines served their country with valor and honor. To every member of the Marine Corps who served in every conflict, we salute you.
United States Air Force. During the Persian Gulf War, 50,751 Air Force pilots put their lives on the line for the defense of freedom. To all the men and women of the Air Force who have continuously served their country, our salute.
We thank those who have served past and present. Would you stand for the reading of the Pledge of Allegiance? One nation under God. We can't forget about that.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Look at those. I heard someone say play ball. Did you bring the ball to play the game with? You may be seated. I'm going to close this set out with a Christmas hymn. Mike asked me to transition and close with a Christmas one. Merry Christmas to you all. I can't believe it's 2022 coming up. This is Oh Holy Night, and I just absolutely love this one because it speaks about that night. I've been to Israel a couple times, taking some tours. Come and join me if you'd like. I'm going in March again. But the word holy comes from the Hebrew, kadosh. And kadosh literally means this was a night that was cut out, that was separate. It was like no other night that the world had ever seen, nor would see again. The birthday of Jesus Christ, who became the Savior of this world.
gold. Come on, people. Thank you, Alex. Oh my gosh, I wish he would get a little more enthusiastic. Come on, lighten up, buddy. Lighten up. Put some energy into it next time, would you? By the way, we are streaming this show live to the entire planet. So which camera? We got back in the cameras right here, I think on one of them. So everybody just kind of wave at that camera there and go, hey, suckers, you got to have pockets. All right, there you go. But we're so thankful for all of you who are joining us here tonight in beautiful Columbia, Tennessee at Christmas time. And man, that was just fantastic. Well, my next friend, this is just going to be a cavalcade of friends coming up. Rick Roberts travels all over the country. He's one of the busiest guys I know. He's really a teacher of comedy and has really helped a lot of folks out through the years teaching his School of Laughs. He's a regular on Huckabee, and he's here with us tonight. Welcome, Rick Roberts.
Right there we are. How we doing, Columbia, Tennessee? Pretty good? Good. I'm excited to be down here. I live around the corner in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, which if you don't know where that is, it's about $65 general stores away. And about 40 car washes. So, yeah, I actually grew up in a town kind of like this up in Kentucky called Versailles in Woodford County, and it reminds me of that when I was driving down here today. So it's real good to be here. I'm excited. We got a fundraising event tonight. We got multiple ways to give, and I just found out last week that we sent in our final house payment, so I'm excited to give extra this time around. Thank you. Well, it's not paid off. That's just the final payment we're going to send in. Let's be clear. I don't have complete financial peace yet, but I got a little bit. We're working on it. No, it's good to be here. I saw my parents last week. I went up to Kentucky and saw them, and I love my parents, but they're just nuts, you know. I grew up tobacco farming. They're still in the little bitty ranch house I grew up in. And I said, Mom, anything new going on around here? And she was so excited. She goes, yep, we just got a home security system installed. What do you think about that? I'm like, what were you thinking? Somebody's going to break in and remodel when you're not looking? Is that what you're afraid of? If somebody knocked down my parents' door, they would turn the gun on themselves or pick in that house. Like, are we in a 70s museum? What is this place? They knock down the door and trip over a beanbag chair, hit the couch and slide off the plastic. Hit the wall, big orange picture made out of yarn and nails will come right down on it. My dad would be throwing pet rocks. Stay down, stay down. I said, even if somebody broke into your house, they couldn't get away with your stereo. They'd bring 8 more guys and a pickup truck to get that. How many of y'all grew up with that big old stereo in the house? 6 foot wide hi-fi. Looked like wood, made out of plastic and heavier than concrete, right? And what'd you have, green or red or gold? Velour speakers, 3 feet apart from each other. I said, Mom, if somebody breaks in, all you got to do is run to the stereo, hide in that middle compartment, and wait for them to go away. Pop out with an Oak Ridge Boys 8-track tape. Take that. Giddy up, boom, up, a mow, mow. This house is protected by Elvira. I know, I should make fun of that stereo. It's going to be mine one day. I know it will be. Yeah, my parents are downsizing, which that sounds really nice, but they're just giving me stuff they should have thrown away 40 years ago. My mom gave me an old computer she found in the attic. Yeah, a Commodore 64. I just brought it back here and threw it away, you know? Then she calls me up like a week later. She's like, have you got that computer running yet? I'm like, oh, we got Windows 57 on there so far. I can't even catch a virus. It gets a sniffle, shuts right on down. And my parents had never been on a computer until this time last year. You know, we were kind of locked up, locked down, shut in, shut out. We couldn't see them like we wanted. So we got them a laptop with a camera on it so they can see us and the grandkids whenever they wanted. Well, that's what they're supposed to use it for. Well, we give it to them. A couple of days later, my dad calls me up. He says, Richard Dale, I'm about to fire off an email. Keep an eye out for it. I said, okay, sir, but just so you know, you don't have to call people right before you fire off an email to them. If you're going to text me later, how about a smoke signal, you know? So I look in my inbox. The email is not exactly from my dad. It's asking me if I want to follow him on Twitter. Yeah, this ain't good for nobody right here. I click on it, and in 3 days, my dad had put out 165 tweets. I know. All capital letters, no punctuation, and 0 followers. Like, he's just tweeting in the breeze. Let him rip. And then I start reading all these tweets and realize it's not 165 individual thoughts. It's one big story that took him 3 days to type in there. It gets even worse. The whole story was about birds, because my dad thought Twitter was a bird-watching, updating website. That's my gene pool. I'm lucky I found this place. But that's the way it is, you know, like my parents didn't want to get on technology. My kids can't get off of it. It's just a struggle. Y'all know the struggle? I asked my 9-year-old daughter what she wanted for Christmas. The first thing she said was, I need to get an iPad Air, 64 gigabytes with a built-in Wi-Fi plan. I'm like, well, you don't get one until I do, and I'll give it to you 5 years after I'm done with it. That's how it works. Then she goes, can I get an iPhone instead? I'm like, you're in the 4th grade. Who you even calling? The Justin Bieber support line? You don't need an iPhone. I said, do what I did when I was little. Go outside and use your imagination, right? Play with a stick. I did that for 3 years in a row. Same stick till it just whittled apart, you know? Yeah. Get a wireless stick and see how that works out. That's what I told her, you know. 64 hickory nuts, get a good one, you know? Yeah, my daughter's a pistol, man. She is tough. She's funny, but she's not always nice when she's being funny, you know? She'll grab my wife's phone sometimes and text my son, and my son's supposed to think it's my wife. You know, she's just ornery like that. The last time she did it, she texted me and goes, you know you're adopted, don't you? Send it off to him. That's what I'm dealing with at home. And I realized that she gets away with a lot when I'm gone. When we were locked down, I was home all the time, and she didn't like that at all. One day at dinner, she goes, how come you're here all the time now? I said, well, I can't go anywhere if I wanted to. They actually called my job non-essential. She goes, what does that mean? I said, oh, it's something that's nice to have, but you don't have to have it. She goes, oh, I get it, kind of like your hair. Maybe, I don't know. Or your college fund, you know. She's good. 9 is a fun age. Trying, but 9 is fun. My son's 15, and that's a whole different ball game right there. He's a good kid, but he's like none of his friends want to learn how to drive. They avoid it at all costs. They're afraid they're going to have a head-on collision with an occupation or a job or something like that, you know. Long-term consequences with that. So I'm still driving all his buddies around, 16 and 15-year-old boys in my car. They had me take them to Topgolf downtown. They had never been. Neither had I. Had you ever been to Topgolf? Whoever came up with that's a genius. You just rip off the back of an old Best Western and hit golf balls out into a garbage net. Like. So I said, I'll take your friends down to Topgolf. I have 5 of them teenage boys in my car. Their voices were cracking left and right. Sounds like I was hauling donkeys down the interstate. Like, is that a honky-tonk down there? Is that where they play hockey? Like I'm driving a puberty Uber all of a sudden. Like, come on. Let's crack a window back there, fellas. Get some D.O. for the B.O. All right, let's go. Mercy. But they're good kids, so they got a great wife, and I give her all the credit. How many guys married to a great wife out there? About half of you, all right? Who's just putting up with her? Who's just putting up with her? Y'all had your chance a minute ago. I married a great lady, and sometimes I think I let her get away with stuff because I'm afraid I'm going to lose her. Like, she'll never admit to doing something wrong, you know. The other day I was raking leaves, and I was just about done, but I was getting chilly, so I went inside and put a coffee Keurig cup in there so I could have a fresh cup of coffee when I came in to warm up, you know. About 15 minutes later, I come inside, and she's finishing off my coffee. She's like, she looks at me like she got caught. I said, did you just drink my cup of coffee? She's like, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, and she runs off. I was mad, so I go around the corner to go upstairs for getting a shower, and there's a big basket full of towels there she just folded, so I looked around and took all them towels and threw them right back in the dryer, crank that sucker back up. She walked by, she's like, I thought I folded all them towels. I'm like, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Then I ran out of the room as fast as I could. Took me a shower, reach out, don't have no towels because I put them back in the dryer. She gets me before I can get me. But she's a great lady, and we have been home a lot more. Things are opening back up now, which is good, I think. Get that booster shot if you want to get a shot. If you don't get the shot, don't get one. Don't get 2 of them if you don't want to get one. It don't matter, right? People need to relax about all that, don't they? Just do what you need to do. Treat others with respect. That's what Jesus wanted us to do. Treat others with respect. Love your neighbor. I got the booster shot, told my friend where to get one in case he wanted to, my friend Gary. Boy, he got it right up on me. We're on the phone. He's like, you know what, buddy? You're not thinking straight. You got to watch what you put into your body. I'm like, Gary, we just left Golden Corral about 15 minutes ago. You put a hot dog in the chocolate fountain, Gary. You know what I'm talking about? And then I realized if I really wanted him to get it, we'd have to make the vaccines and the booster shots all edible, like they did with the polio thing. They used to put it on sugar cubes. Let people distribute it who've already got the infrastructure. Like McDonald's, they can have some Pfizer fries or something like that going through there. Roll up in the morning, get a Moderna McMuffin or something like that. And the Paula Deen administer it with a turkey baster. That's what I want. Paula Deen COVID-19 vaccine. That'd be a good one right there. Yeah, we just needed more patient with people, There was last year, Thanksgiving time, I was going into Walmart, and they had a mask thing on the door. It said, put it on. I said, okay, I got one right here in my pocket. So before I even went in, I made sure I had it on. This lady popped out of nowhere. She was right up in my face. She's like, sir, I don't know if anybody's explained this to you or not, but you don't have to wear them things outside. It ain't a good look, and it ain't doing nothing for you. I was shocked. I just took a breath and took a step back and looked at her, and she's wearing socks and Crocs and a pajama top. And I'm like, right back at you. I don't know if anybody explained this to you or not, but you don't have to wear that out in public. If it ain't a good look and it ain't doing nothing for you. Goodness gracious. People are crazy. Man, but what a great time of year, and what a great time to be in Tennessee. Now, I lived in Kentucky and Ohio and Tennessee, West Virginia. It's just pretty in this part of the country, ain't it? Beautiful. And we take it for granted until you leave and go drive across, I had to drive across Kansas. You ever drive across Kansas? Survivors? Anybody? Oh, my God. Drive it at night or get a used helicopter off of Craigslist and make your way across. That's all I can say. I knew it was going to be flat. I didn't know you had to bring your own people. I had no idea. I'm driving across, and this guy goes flying by me in a Trans Am. Now, what I didn't know was the Highway Patrol in Kansas has to drive unmarked cars. Because if they didn't, you could see them 6 or 7 hours away, right? But I don't know this. This guy goes flying by me in the Trans Am. I'm like, gonna keep up with that guy. He's probably got a radar detector. He had the radar, and I did not detect it. So I start trying to catch up to him, and it took me about an hour. I still have my 1996 3 out of 4 cylinder Isuzu pickup truck. That's a woman getter right there, ain't it, ladies? I finally catch up. Then he started slowing down, so I'm like, uh-oh, must be some po-po up ahead. I'll slow down too. Then he speeds up. I'm like, we're clear, let's go. Then he started swerving really hard and hitting his brake and kicking up gravel. I'm like, this guy has fallen asleep behind the wheel. I should get his attention and see if he's okay. I know. You ever been so stupid you pulled the cops over? Anybody? That is some paperwork. I don't know how to pull nobody over. I just rolled down my window, and it was a roller. Stuck my head out. I'm like, woo, whoop, 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 whoop. That's pretty good, wasn't it? I've been working on that. I must have swallowed 13 skeeters before he pulled over. Kansas got the biggest skeeters I've ever seen. They could have stood on their tippy toes and pistol whipped a chicken. They were big. Oh. You know the ones when they hit your windshield, looks at them and eating mashed potatoes and gravy all day long? Got the West Nile hanging off. Whew. But the guy pulled over, so I pull over and I wait for him to get out, but he never gets out. Then I'm thinking, oh, he may have had a heart attack or something. I just charge his vehicle as fast as I can. Start pounding on his window. Meanwhile, he's been loading his revolver on the other side. Then he cracks that window, and I see he's an officer. I got zero game plan. But I start thinking I should arrest him for reckless driving before he gets me for speeding. But I don't know how to arrest nobody. All I know is from watching the Andy Griffith Show my entire life. Like Barney Fife, you know. I just walk up there, I'm like, hey! Would you mind rolling down your window? You want to get out of the vehicle there, buddy? You're a big one, too, aren't you? Look at you. Want to know why I pulled you over? Because I'm an idiot. Whoa. Man, I thought I was going to prison right there. He's like, you're so weird, I'm going to drop you off wherever you want. Now, I wish he was going to drop me off. He took me by the back of my neck and put me in the back seat of his Trans Am and locked me in there by myself. Then he gets on his shoulder radio. He's like, 5 more minutes later, 6 po-pos show up. Like I hadn't seen 6 people all week in Kansas. There's a whole party going on. And he's talking to them, and they're giving him the business, it looks like, and he gets back in, and he's madder than when he got out. He's like, first off, fellas want to know who pulled over who. I said, that's a fair question. I said, this is strange for both of us. Let's just admit that. But you were swerving around up there. I thought you had fallen asleep behind the wheel or something. He said, swerving around? You're dumb as a brick. I was trying to get behind you to pull you over for speeding, but you wouldn't let me. I'm like, well, I didn't know who you were. You didn't turn on your lights or your sirens at all, did you? He goes, well, you got me on that one. They went out on me yesterday. I'm like, well, I'll let you go if you let me go. He didn't let me go. He goes, you know how fast you were traveling back there? I said, I got no clue. My speedometer broke in 04. He said, I was pacing you. You hit 104 miles an hour. What do you have to say about that? I said, the first thing that y'all would say. I said, sir, that is good in a 3-cylinder Isuzu pickup truck. I say, print that out. That's going to help me with my trade-in value right there, ain't it? Then he said, what even brings you out here to Kansas? I see you got Tennessee plates. I said, well, I was working out here, but now I'm headed back. He goes, working? What kind of work brought you out this way? I'm like, well, this could go either way. I'm like, I'm a comedian, and I was in Wichita, and we were raising money for March of Dimes. That's why I'm out here. He goes, wait a second, you're a comedian? I said, yes, sir. He goes, man, I don't know how to tell you this. I don't want to burst your bubble or nothing, but I'm a big comedy fan, and I've never heard you in my life. You ever been on Letterman or Leno or something like that? And I didn't know what to say. I'm like, nah. You ever been on Cops? Ha! So, that'll be on in a few weeks if you want to see me on Cops. I used to watch Cops all the time. Now I watch like old people shows. Y'all watch old people shows? That's all I watch because they got all the pill commercials in there, you know? And I saw this the other day. I was watching Treehouse Masters. You ever watch that one? I like watching other people work. That's what I'm learning here. But right in the middle of that show, they have this commercial come on for the Pepto-Bismol. Like, who needs to advertise Pepto? You either need it or you don't, right? You're not buying it for special occasions or something like that. And I thought there was only one kind. They got a new one out. It says now it comes with a healthy dose of melatonin, so you can get right back to sleep. Now listen, I'm not a big fan of the diarrhea, all right? Let's be honest. But I would like to be awake should it happen again. I mean, have y'all seen Grandpa? He's face down on the squatty potty. We don't know what's going on in there. Hey, y'all been a lot of fun tonight. Thanks for helping us raise some money for two great causes. My name's Rick Roberts. God bless y'all. Have a good evening.
Rick Roberts, everybody, come on. Oh, man, too much. Oh, that's just killing. Are you, anybody else in pain out here already? Don't eat puckets and then have that happen to you. That's just not fair. All right, we're coming to the stage now. I got to work with Vicki about, I don't know how long, 12, 15 years ago. We got to do a gig together in Colorado, and we've been friends ever since. We were living in different places, and then we both ended up here in Middle Tennessee, and it's so great to get to team up with her again tonight. You may know her from her 20-plus appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. You may know her as 6 seasons as a cast member for Saturday Night Live. Let's welcome Victoria Jackson.
Let's hear it for a fabulous Alex and Rick Roberts and Paul. I know most of you in here, so that's cool. Two blondes walk into a building. You'd think one of them would have seen it. I know that's cheating, but I don't care. So I'm really happy to be here. Christmas is such a romantic time of year, and I was thinking, why is it romantic? And then I thought, oh, I know why. Because it's about the greatest love story of all. God loved us so much, he gave himself to die for us, pay for our sins, and then rose from the dead so we could go to heaven forever and be with him. Let's hear it all. Yeah. So I thought, well, there's nothing more romantic than that. And you know how it says, that we're the bride of Christ. Is this a Christian show or not? It is now. And, we're the bride of Christ. And then it says, the husbands should love their wives so much they would die for them. So that's pretty romantic, right? So that's why my husband and I probably chose December 19th, yesterday. It was our 29th wedding anniversary. Thank you. Yeah. So I wrote a song about it. Relationship. We've been to 8 marriage counselors, and all of them committed suicide. I'm starting to feel like a serial killer. Well, one of them, their head exploded, so it's technically not suicide. And, we're just too opposite, I mean, I'm always hot, he's always cold. We have different expressions. I have a lot of facial expressions. He has one. It's good for a policeman. He was a policeman. So this is his one expression. And when, the house is on fire. We won the lottery, So I was trying to teach him more expressions, but we were working on 5. He liked the one Ben Stiller from Blue Steel, he likes to do that one, but he's shy. See, he can't help it. He's a Chickasaw Native American because his mother is, and they're like totem poles, and he can't help it. When I first met her, I was trying to be politically correct, so I said, how? So So we're very opposite. He says his ideal mate is a deaf-mute Victoria's Secret model who went to Cordon Bleu. And I said, oh, yeah, well, my ideal mate is a Chippendale's neurosurgeon who digs fat chicks. So our counselors, I know, that's my favorite joke. So our counselors, you know, they told us, number one, compromise. So I said, I'll go to the gun range with you if you'll play the piano for me. He said, no. You know, the gun range. He was a cop. He can't leave his police personality, even though he's retired now. Sometimes in bed, he puts his arm around me and he says, do you have any idea why I pulled you over? And once I overslept and he drew a chalk outline around me. And, you know, he made me live in Miami for 20 years because there's a lot of crime there. So it was fun for him. And, yeah, and I was like, Paul, no one speaks English here. And, you know, it's hot and humid. There's no seasons. And he goes, I know, Vicki, it's the armpit of America. And I go, no, it's not the armpit. That would be like New York and LA. It's a skin tag. Florida is a skin tag. Looks like a mistake. Well, so anyway, yeah, he uses big words, you know, vehicle, perimeter, perpetrator, canine, affirmative. I'm like, I think he just uses big words because he's threatened by my intellect. For real. Because he knows that I skipped second grade. You know, he says everything you need to know you learn in second grade. And he knows that when I was 12, my dad took me to the University of Miami for an IQ test, and they wouldn't give us the score because they said it would affect our lives forever. And you know, there's a lot of crime in Miami. That's why Paul liked it there. And this car next to us had these really scary-looking guys in it. And we were driving along. I said, Paul, the car next to us has hoodlums in it. And he goes, Vicki, they can read your lips. And I go, oh, no, they could shoot my brains out. And he goes, take some marksman to hit that BB. That's how he flirts with me. So I like it. So then our counselors, they said, why don't you role play? And I was like, yeah. So I made Paul, I said, how about the captain in Tennille? You know, because he plays the piano. He's supposed to be here tonight, you know. But the whole gun range thing, he didn't want me at the gun range. So, yeah, but he wouldn't wear the cap. And I was like, okay, how about Bennifer? But they got divorced. So then I thought, hey, we could be the Clintons. They'll never get divorced because they'd have to testify on each other. You know, the LGBTQ movement has actually been good for our marriage because I used to get jealous when a pretty girl would walk by my husband, but now I just go, dibs. That's a good joke. It might be edgy, but it's good. So, where was I? Oh, I totally forgot what I was going to say. When I had cancer, I know we're raising money for cancer research 6 years ago, but I'm healed. Thank you, Lord. So when I had cancer, but people go, how did cancer affect your life? And I go, well, not that much because I'm retired, so I just watch YouTube all day and eat vitamins and wake up late, and that's nothing changed. I did not like being bald, though, but I got all these wigs. See, I bunch of wigs, and you know, somebody told, somebody told my husband and I there's a new Playboy for married men. It has the same centerfold every month. I was like, so I thought, I'll just wear, you know, wigs, give them some variety, you know. So, wait, I skipped over my last joke. Okay. So the first night he came home from work in his little police costume, you know, I like to call it that because he takes it so seriously. And I dressed up like Zsa Zsa, you know, with the accent and the furry thing, and I go, darling, I worked all over the world and I just want to be with you. I didn't want to slap a cop, I wanted to spank him. And then Paul goes, what are you doing? And I go, same centerfold every month. I'm Zsa Zsa. And then he goes, Vicky, she's dead. And I was like, oh, yeah. So the next night I go, I know, it'll be Marilyn Monroe, the sexiest woman in the world. So I dressed up in the white dress and a fan and the wig. And he came in the door and I go, happy birthday, Mr. President. And he goes, ah! And we go, it's Marilyn Monroe. And he goes, she's dead too. So I go, I know, I'll be Edith Bunker. Is she still alive? Boy, the way Glenn Miller played songs that made the hip parade. Oh, Watchy, I'm so randy. So then I go, I know someone who's alive. So when he came in the door, I go like this. Oh, this is not gonna work. Okay, so I go, Stars, you came home from work and the kids are still alive. Hey, I did my job. Roseanne! I go, well, she had her own TV show. Uh-oh, my hair's coming out. My real hair. So then I go, I know who he would like. Okay, I'll let you guess. Okay. Sorry. You said it. My mouth is so dry. Could someone bring me my water cup over there? Thank you. Okay. So anyways, like Jay Leno, I was having this fancy dinner party, and I lit my sweater on fire. Fran Drescher. I'm a little rusty. Well, we were doing the Weird Al Yankovic movie in Tulsa, and I went into her hotel room one day, and she goes, Victoria, there's nothing to do here. Do you want to go to a Weight Watchers meeting? I don't know if she went or not, but she's thin and I'm not, so maybe she went. But you haven't seen my wig portion, have you, Paul, for a long time? I know, I wanted to, you know, I wanted to spice it up a little, because this is my third show this month, and everybody's heard the Broken World Baby song like a million times. So, Dolly Parton in first grade. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Okay. All right. So, oh, I know what the joke was. I was gonna say, oh yeah. In Miami, you know, there's only 3 types of people: Cuban, retired, and naked. And I don't fit into any of those categories, you know. And I was thinking, what happened to language in America? You know, what happened to all the S's and the T's? I asked a man for the business, was up, I gotta go to the bathroom, important. You know, what happened to the S's and the T's? And then I went, oh, the gays stole them. Bruce, stop, I'm crossing the street. And then I thought, what happened to all the R's that the Asians and the Boston people lost? Two order fried rice, park the car in Harvard Yard. The Mexicans and the Cubans stole them. Burrito rosa. Thank you. That's a new joke I've been working on. Politically incorrect. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Yeah, I'm trying to get more edgy with my comedy and attack difficult issues like racism, so that's what I came up with. I don't have any tattoos or piercings yet, but I do have a cold sore I've been ignoring. And I was trying to toughen up my image, so I switched from a ukulele to an electric guitar, but I had a hot flash and electrocuted myself. So, okay, so I'm wrapping it up because I'm going on too long. Okay, so this is so here's my last impression. My Victoria's Secret's model. I have 3 secrets I'd like to share with you, but shh, don't tell anyone. It'll just be our little secret. My first secret is a lot of men ask me, are you as dumb as you appear on the show? And I say, I don't know. I never watched the show. Thank you. Okay, and my very last impression, Paris Hilton. Do you think they're tired of the Broken World Baby? Okay. Tattoo of a broken ukulele. Hey, you can't put this on the internet, Lanny. My hair fell off. Okay. Tattoo of a broken ukulele. Light blue, turquoise lies. He might leave me in the middle of my chemo. I would not be so surprised. Yeah, I got cancer and so did my dog. My car won't start and my sink has a clog. My checks are bouncing but my trampoline's torn. I am not surprised because I've been warned. It's a broken world, baby. I know you agree. The second law of thermodynamics says the world is in a state of entropy. That's a fancy word for broken, you see. Lanny's back is causing him pain. That's Lanny, my small group Bible leader. How's your back doing? Lanny's back is causing him pain. Bob's OCD is driving Donna insane. Dilbert's dad, he needs a diagnosis. I quit kissing Daisy because she has some halitosis. Daisy's my dog. My heart is broken and I stubbed my big toe. I just got fired and my food is GMO. I accidentally stepped onto my ukulele. That really happened. With my high heel. I accidentally stepped onto my ukulele, rushing to say hi to my new neighbor, the Israeli. While you try to rhyme those 2 words, it's a broken world, baby. Since even Adam gave in, but there's a new world coming. That's why my song has a grin. Jesus is coming soon, morning or night or noon. I'm gonna meet him in the sky, in the twinkling of an eye. Merry Christmas!
Victoria Jackson, the one and only. Come on. I guess, yeah, well, those are being helpful when everybody's on chemo. They can always borrow those, so thank you, Victoria. Oh, man. All right, good. We're still plugged in here. Excellent. Oh, man. You had no idea what you were getting into tonight, did you, when you came here? Well, I got one for you, a question for you here tonight. Are you ready to rock? I said, are you ready to rock? All right, go ahead. Not as rich as you thought, apparently, yeah. Well, I'll do a little Christmas music for you here, if I may. Let's try, I'll be broke for Christmas. You can count on that. I'll spend it all, then spend some more, like a Democrat on crack. You didn't see that coming, did you? Those stimulus checks and bailouts quickly came and went. So I'll be broke for Christmas, just like the government. Let's sing together, come on. I'll be broke for Christmas, just like the government. Rudolph the nose job reindeer used to have a great big nose, and if you ever saw it, you'd be glad it wasn't yours. None of the female reindeer even cared to know his name, till Rudolph got his nose job. Then they let him join their game. But then one foggy Christmas Eve, poor Santa crashed his sleigh. 'Cause Rudolph didn't make the trip, no, he was with some reindeer chick. The moral of this story, if you want popularity like Rudolph the nose job reindeer, get some plastic surgery. Well, tonight I got a few special guests with me. Let's hear it first of all. Bring up Mr. Willie Nelson. And Jingle Bells again. I just can't wait to sing Jingle Bells again. Riding in a one-horse open sleigh with all my friends. I can't wait to sing Jingle Bells again. And Bob Dylan. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle hey, everything is right in the little hood and say, hey, hey, jingle bells, what key am I in? I sound like a rolling stone blowing in the wind. And Johnny Cash. I hear those bells a-jingling, jingling around the bend. Hope I can break out of here before my money's spent. Yes, I'm stuck in line at Costco, and life keeps dragging on. Looks like those bells keep on jingling till all my cash is gone. And Adam Sandler, oh, dashing through the snow in the one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Oh, bells on the bobtail ring, they make the spirits bright. Oh, what fun to sing tonight. Jingle bells again, dashing through the snow and o'er the fields and byways. Jig it as a kid, everybody must sing my way. Oh, jingle bells, and Merry Christmas, Mama. But if, like me or Jewish, have a happy, happy, happy Jingle Bell Hanukkah. Now, I love celebrating America's holidays and special occasions, but these days, there are so many special days, weeks, months, it's impossible to fit them all in. What we need is a holiday time management solution. So here, I now present to you an entire calendar year of America's essential celebrations in one 5-minute medley. Let's start off with America's first religious holiday of the year. Super Bowl, the last game of the season now approaches. Final chance to yell and scream at referees and coaches. Watch commercials, eat like pigs until you lose your focus. But do not watch the halftime show, cause it will make you nauseous. Valentine's Day, men start to pray. Oh God. I need a card, I need a heart, I need a flower. I need some wine, I need a spine, I need a shower. I need a clue, give me a chance, or there'll be no romance. And now a day dedicated to all the presidents whose statues will soon be gone forever. 'Cause now we're offended that these men were president. How can old white guys ever represent? So let's blame them for every single mess on President's Cancellation Day. St. Patrick Boy, the pipes are calling. This holy day, the Irish give you props. You were a saint with virtue like no other. And so they honor you by getting fall down drunk. And now Donald Trump and Nancy Pelosi join hands to honor America. April Fools. Easter eggs are hidden today. Oh, also someone left their grave. Cinco de Mayo, Cinco de Mayo. I don't know what that even means, but please give me more tacos, rice, and beans. Mamma mia, it's Mother's Day. I called my dad each Father's Day, so glad to hear his voice and to hear those same 3 words that always make my heart rejoice. 3 words. Yes, a father knows what's best to say to help you make it through. 3 words. First I say Happy Father's Day, then he says, here's your mother. Do you recall the reasons why we celebrate this day? I haven't heard them in a while, but I think we used to say, America, America, God shed his grace on thee. I hope with you that still rings true this Independence Day. There's a millennial living in my basement. Get a job, no, don't wanna leave home. But it's Labor Day, oh. Get a job, no, don't wanna leave home. It's Labor Day, oh. I need some cash, Dad, could I have a loan? All right, you gotta help me now, put those hands together. Everybody, put those hands together. October's here, the time of year we toast Oktoberfest. So fill your stein, it's polka time to sing your yodel best. Like this, yodel-lady-lady, yodel-lady-lady, yodel-lady-lady-lady. And that's October, soon Halloween will be over. We'll give thanks in November, then December we'll remember. Frosty the Snow Person is politically correct, with a bleeding heart and a feminine side leaning slightly to the left. Yes, Frosty the Snow Person has gone eco-friendly green, so his eyes of coal have been replaced by light bulbs that burn clean. He's thrown away his corncob pipe. He won't use fossil fuels. He drives an all-electric car. He recycles and reuses. Yes, Frosty, the snow person, has intentions pure as snow. So he's trying hard not to leave a carbon footprint when he goes. Thumpity thump, thump, thumpity thump, and Frosty needs our help. Sing along. Thumpity thump, thump, thumpity thump, global warming makes him melt. Everybody. Thumpity thump, thump, thumpity thump, but now Frosty wears a mask. Thumpity thump, thump, thumpity thump, and friends, you can bet Frosty's fully vaxxed. Let's go, Frosty! All right, one more holiday. Everybody come. Put those hands together one more time. You say you made a resolution. Well, you know, you probably already failed today, and that's okay. Because now that you fall off your diet and quit the gym, let's go have some jelly-filled donuts at Krispy Kreme. Yes, this year is gonna be all right. Everybody sing, come on. All right, everybody sing now. All right, all right. Ooh. Happy New Year. All right. Well, again, I'm so grateful that you've all come out to be a part of this crazy, crazy adventure tonight. And I'm going to bring on a gentleman right now. Chris Hogan is the CEO of Hogan Consulting Group, and they help people and businesses reach optimum performance. Chris is going to tell us a little bit about the charities that we are supporting tonight. Please welcome Chris Hogan.
Uh-oh. Good evening, everybody. How are you? Good, good. I will not be singing for you, okay? And some of you are thinking, my God, that voice, right? My voice changed at age 13. Can you imagine me trick-or-treating at your house? I scared people half to death. Trick-or-treat! Like there's a grown man out there trick-or-treating. It's like, I'm a child, give me candy, damn it, you know? Well, I'm excited you all are here. Thank you so much for coming out. I want to tell you a little bit about some of the sponsors. We've got the diamond sponsor, Churchill Mortgage. We've got Nashville 37201.tv. Also, Be Absolute. So if you are watching online or if you've used the app at all, Be Absolute is who to thank there. And also, we're battling COVID. We've got two, let's see here, air pure shields in this room. All of them is keeping the air 99.9% pure. And so we want to thank them as a sponsor as well. And I get an opportunity to bring up a couple of more people tonight, then you'll hear from me a little bit more. But I've got an honor to talk about a gentleman that is an absolute icon in the skating world. He's a four-time consecutive U.S. champ. He's a four-time consecutive world champ and also a gold medalist. This man has not only performed and done things on skates that I can't comprehend. I thought about one and pulled a hamstring the other day. This body does not belong on ice, okay? I'm on the ground, damn it, on the ground. But he's an absolute amazing athlete, but also human being. He is a man that's not only fought cancer himself, but he knows it personally, as his mother battled it and he himself battled it. And so the work he does is not something that he's just talking about, it's a part of his life. And so I'd love for you all to help me welcome to the stage a man that is fighting hard, donating his time, money, and his effort to do something for a cause that matters. Please welcome Scott Hamilton to the stage.
You may need these.
Yeah, thank you. Every time to bring it down, every time. And you know, it's like when I have to speak after that voice, and it's like They call me ma'am when I order room service every single time. It's not fair, and it's not funny. So, hey, how are you guys doing tonight? You know, Ed Cares, that's the name of my foundation. It's the Cancer Alliance for Research, Education, and Survivorship. We really do believe that laughter is the best medicine. It really is. There's just something about coming out and just making your abs work a little bit extra hard, just laughing. And we've had some great comedians tonight, and we're just getting started. I know that for sure. So I just want to thank Michael Carnes for including me tonight. Thank you for allowing us to be part of this. So there's something, see, when they told me I had cancer, I was like, oh man, I was so scared. And then I had time to process it, because there's something that happens when you're told you have cancer, like the fear is extraordinary, and then somehow it just flips. It turns into this, I'm gonna beat this thing, I'm gonna fight it with everything I have. And then the punchline happened the next day. It was, you have stage 3 germ cell testicular cancer. And it's like, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. And they said, no, what's wrong? And I go, I don't want that cancer. Are you sure that's what it is? And they go, yes, you have testicular. I can't even say the word. Please, can it be something else? Please, can it just be anything else? And I go, why? And I go, these are my boys. It's just not right. And they said, no, this is a good one. If you had to choose a cancer, this is, I go, who would choose a cancer? People. So, you know, and they asked me why I was so disturbed about having that cancer. And I said, because I'm a male figure skater, I wear tight clothes. There's that. And 80% of my audience is women. So now when I talk about cancer, I'm gonna have to talk about that kind of cancer. And they go, no, again, this is a good one. And so, you know, they don't get it. Doctors just don't get it. So I just want to ask something real quick. How many people in this room, I bring out your phones, because I love to do the phone thing. How many people in this room have survived cancer? Just light up. Just, if you can, just light up. You know, it's pretty awesome. This is good stuff. Congratulations. All right, now, everybody, if you still have your phones on, how many people know someone, family member, dear friend, that has battled cancer? Light up. It's a big problem. This is something that affects each and every one of us. I lost my mom to cancer 45 years ago. I talk about her every day. I miss her every day. The day I lost her, I decided to wake up and try to be the man that she always thought I could be, that I knew I couldn't, but I'm gonna try anyway. But I became a fundraiser. 20 years after I lost her, I was diagnosed with cancer, and it became obvious that I needed to become an activist. I needed to do more than just raise money. I needed to change cancer forever and for the better. And that's what we do. We educate people through chemocare.com so they don't fly blind through a chemotherapy experience. We created Fourth Angel Mentoring Program, where we put newly diagnosed patients with survivors so they don't have to fly blind like I had to, so that I have somebody that I can talk to that can work as a role model and maybe a bit of a life coach, to know that now you've been where I am and you're on the other side. Oh, is there anything better than that? But now all we want to do is just change the way we're treated for cancer forever. To create an immune response to cancer instead of just filling our bodies with poison. I'm here 25 years later because of poison, and I can't wait to get rid of it. And so that's why we're here tonight. We're here to make a difference and just change the way we treat cancer forever. And it's just so great to know that, we're all in this together. It's not easy to feel alone, and I know a lot of people when they go through chemo, they feel isolated and alone and like nobody truly understands what they're going through. But we're going to change that. We're going to change it by investing in the right research, investing in the right opportunities to create miracles and save lives. And that's what we get to do tonight. We get to laugh a lot because these guys are really funny. And girls, sorry, Victoria, I didn't mean to slight you at all. But I might use one of your wigs to get home if that's okay. Yeah, play that game with my wife maybe a little bit. I'm a rock star. I'm a Gene Simmons. So, but yeah, we're here to make a difference, to change lives and to create a groundswell of confidence and excitement that cancer kills 69 people an hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, that we can change that forever, so that everyone that gets that diagnosis knows they're going to be okay, So thank you so much for including us tonight. We're really excited, and have a great time laughing a lot. Loud, please. The louder you laugh, the funnier they get. It works every single time. And God bless you all, and thanks for having us.
Thank you, Scott, so much. Speaking of kids, how many of you have kids? Okay, hold on. Put your hands down. How many of you have one? Okay, hands down. How many of you have two or more? Okay, hands down. Three or more. Lord have mercy, y'all fertile. All right. I've got 3 boys, and they're all 3 teenagers now. Pray for me. I got one I call happy, one hormonal, and the other one is hungry. Okay? I swear, I don't know. I go to Costco and Sam's. 3 refrigerators and 4 freezers, and they still look at me and I'm hungry. You're not hungry, you're 235 pounds. For the love of God, go on a diet. Kids are awesome. And we get an opportunity as parents to be able to love our kids, put them in a headlock, and still love them. Don't squeeze too hard, but you can. You know it's legal to tase kids in Tennessee? Just as long as below the knee. I'm just playing. We love kids. I don't know of a parent or a grandparent. You grandparents are the worst. You're the spoilingest daggone thing I've ever seen. I don't even know my mom anymore. This woman didn't believe in sugar, and all of a sudden my kids are running around on Red Bull and Nerds. Can't wait for her to get older. I'm gonna get her back. We love our kids, and we love our grandkids. And there's nothing you wouldn't do for them. Because we all know as parents and grandparents, we want our kids to have better than what we had. And we work hard, and you sacrifice, and you miss some things. You miss some games, you miss some sporting events. COVID shut us down in ways we'd never seen before. But the love didn't stop, did it? It got stronger. Kids matter. And the next gentleman I want to bring up is with the Soldier's Wish. And for anybody that's been affiliated with the military, as I have been, I've had the honor and the privilege to be able to serve all the branches of the military and helping them financially or with business or with leadership. My hat goes off to them. These people sacrifice. You and I both know our freedom isn't free. And we've got some village idiots that are trying to take it away from us, and that can't happen. Can I get an amen? Because I'm a gun-toting, bourbon-sipping. All right, hold on. Hold on. Slow down. Let me slow down. But we love our military, and we love our kids. And so this next charity is the Soldier's Wish. And if you're familiar with that at all, that's for the Gold Star families. Those are for people that were lost in battle, that didn't get to come home, but they had families home. And these kids don't get a chance to have that mother or that father anymore. and it breaks my heart. I've done speaking engagements for survivors' families before. 50 women in that room that had lost a husband from anywhere from 5 months ago to 15 years ago. And it was the saddest event I've ever done in my life, because I knew I was going in there to a room of people that were hurting, that had lost someone, and I was gonna get to go home. But I came out of there with a different spirit, because these are some tough individuals. People that knew what they signed up for the fact that our freedom isn't free, and we can't take it for granted, but it stands for something. And so A Soldier's Wish helps these children that's missing a parent, that has a part of their life that has been removed. And so will you all help me welcome to the stage Tim Millard to tell us more about A Soldier's Wish.
So I volunteer for a Soldier Child Foundation. To give you just a little bit about me, I am a Marine. I did 3 tours to Iraq. 2 of them were combat tours. I was in the infantry, so I was in it. Now, saying that, I have never done anything harder than I've done with volunteering with this organization. Every year, these guys, they send kids whose parents passed away during active duty. Doesn't matter if it's in combat or anything active duty related. So they send them presents every year, and these kids see that as a gift from their parents that have passed away. The second thing they do is they help these kids go to camps, and I'm gonna tell you a story about that here in a minute, but these kids get to go to camps with kids like themselves, and I can not tell you how important that is because it helps them heal. The third thing is they help them get into college. So why this is very important to me is being a Marine, when I got back, I didn't have anybody near me to help me heal. And I didn't get to do that until a couple of years ago, where I went and I had a big reunion. We were out in Minnesota, and I got to find peace myself by watching a couple of my senior Marines be stupid. And so Daryl finally let me go to a camp this year, and I was like, yes, I get to go to camp. I get to have fun. Whew. It's hard because there's 20 plus kids there that are missing a parent, and they're looking to you to say, like, what do I do? What are we gonna do? And the story I'm gonna share is about this kid named Garrett. I changed his name for his benefit. So I get there. Garrett's about 17 years old. I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna do all this stuff. I got in trouble in like the first 5 minutes. Apparently you're not supposed to throw playing cards at other kids. I don't know where that rule came from, but you can't do it. And the second rule I broke was playing 52-card pickup. Sorry, Daryl. So we have tons of fun. The next morning we woke up, we go, and they're like, hey, we're playing paintball. And everybody's like, yes, I want to be on Mr. Tibbs' team. And I'm like, sorry, guys, you're all targets of me. Have fun, good luck. So the older kids are like, all right, we're going to take out Mr. Tim first. What we're going to do is we're going to try to come around this side. And Mr. Tim's like, okay, I see that going on. What you got? And they're like, pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, nope, you missed me. Sorry. And Garrett's one of the kids, and he's like, okay, I got you, Mr. Tim. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right. So we go to this benefit. It's for these kids. We raise a ton of money. And we come back, and we're watching movies. And Garrett's sitting there, he's making noise, and I just go. He's like, ooh. That Marine look scares kids. I don't know why, but it does. And so we're sitting there, we're watching this movie, and he starts making noise again. I'm like, sorry. Next morning, we wake up, and it's Mother's Day. It's not just Mother's Day, but it's Garrett's mom's birthday. And so we do something for all the moms. They have roses, and they ask the moms to share stories, and 2 of the moms get up and share the stories, and they're like, does anybody else want to share a story? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. So I get up on stage like I am now, and I start telling my story of how when I got back, I was angry. I was sad. I found a dark place. There's times where I was suicidal. There's times I was depressed where I was like, why am I here? I was embarrassed. And I'm telling these kids, I'm telling these moms that. And the hardest thing I do is I'm talking to them. I see the moms just like nodding in agreement. But the harder part is I'm watching these kids nod in agreement to the same things I'm saying. And that's tearing me apart. So we get done. We're all saying our goodbyes. We're all getting ready to go. And Garrett's mom's like, can I ask you guys to join me in something? We're all like, yeah, what do you have? It's their angelversary. Her husband had passed away that day. So think of that. You have Mother's Day, birthday, angelversary, all in that weekend. So they say a prayer. The family releases balloons. And Garrett, the kid who's been being a pain in my neck, the first thing he does after he gives his mom a hug is comes up and gives me a hug and he just says, "Thank you." And that's what I get to do for these kids. Is I get to be there for them when their dad wasn't. And not by his choice, by something that happened to pay for our freedom. So every time I get to do this, Daryl's like, "Tim, I need you to be here." Okay, I'm there. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going. And so that's all we can ask you guys to do is help us be there for these kids. And I'm going to tell you now, going after Scott, geez Louise, that was hard, but I've never seen Scott except for on TV and coming after him, but you put on a dang good speech, and I don't know if I'm coming close to you, but you set a bar, bud. You set a bar. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, this is the last time you get to hear my voice. Can you imagine, though, Victoria and I are on two different ends of the spectrum? Like, we should never be allowed to have a conversation. Like, something would bust somewhere in somebody's life. Well, listen, have you all had fun? It is nowhere near over. There is a rock star comedian coming up in a little bit and an incredible music icon. But before that, I got to do the ask. You all got in here cheap. You ain't getting out without money. Doors are locked, and we have your car keys. I'm just playing. It's been a lot of fun, and we're here supporting two fantastic charities, A Soldier's Wish and Scott Hamilton's Cares. You and I know that these events, they matter. And people like you are the ones that make an impact in people's lives. Because there are those people that will sit and watch and hear, and maybe they send up a good thought, maybe they send a prayer, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for those people that feel that edge on your heart to do something a little bit more, and those are the kinds of people that this country is founded on. The people that don't just think about it or talk about it, they are about it. And you are those people, and we thank you for coming out to support this. Michael Carnes has a heart of gold. As we sat in my living room with Keith and he and myself kind of thinking and talking about this event of how do we do something? Because for those who are blessed, we're blessed to be y'all don't go to church? I'm sorry, this mic was off. Maybe I was speaking too high like Michael Jackson or something. Let's try it one more time. For those of us that are blessed, we're blessed to be Amen. And I think there's a difference when you're called to action, when you feel that thing on your heart that you do want to show up. EFACT, Entertainment for a Cause, is something that is Michael Carnes' brainchild. But in an effort of transparency, we also want to let you know, when you put on an event like this, with all the food that I cook for you people, it's not cheap. And so we will be having 20% of the proceeds will be going to Palette Productions, who's the production company that's made this happen. And the rest, the remaining 80%, will be split between Soldier's Child as well as Scott Hamilton's Cares. Most places won't tell you things like that. But looking at this, I also want to let you know the easiest way to support is through the EFACT app. A lot of you have that. That's how you got in. There's a donate button there. To the businesses that are out there that did not get a chance to sponsor, and please be sure to take a photo in front of that. Beautiful little step and repeat back there. But if you were a business and you didn't get to support, you can still give. You've got an opportunity, as we all know, as we sit here in December, end of year giving, before the KGB, as IRS, we get to give so we can deduct as well, so we can make a positive impact, but also deduct as well. But also for people that are making large contributions, being in the wealth management circle and helping people build money and take care of money, I also know some people really want to give and they can give big. If you want to do some kind of complex asset donation, whether that is a piece of land or a building or something large, you have an ability to do that as well. We've set up something for you. All you have to do is go to palletproductions.org. And again, you have that information inside your brochure, and you can see how easy it is to make a difference. I want to thank all of you for being here, but also want to thank everyone that's watching online. We've got thousands watching online, thanks to Keith and Be Absolute with the live stream. And this is something that is going to be international as well. So you had an opportunity to come be here in the room, but we've got an opportunity to make a continuous impact. I tell you this, caring is kindness. When you care about people, that is an act of kindness. And I think we have an opportunity to be able to do that in grocery stores with our neighbors. We have an opportunity to smile. And I think we take for granted, you know what's hard? The mask thing. Okay, first of all, I don't like them for a couple reasons. Number one, my voice is deep enough. People can't understand me when I have it on. I sound like Charlie Brown's teacher when I'm talking. Those of you old enough, y'all got that. I've got two teenage boys in the back. They have no idea what I'm talking about right now. That's the want, want, want sound, right? But another thing is I can't tell if you're smiling or growling at me with the mask on. You know, it's crazy how much our face reveals. But you know what else is powerful? Our hand. Because I think we can have head knowledge of these charities that need this money, that need help. But it's another thing when you feel it in your head and you know it, but when you feel it in your heart, you have it in your hand and you can show it. And so caring is kind, giving is love. And so I want to call on you as you sit where you are to think about what you can do to help impact these charities, whether it's a soldier's wish or to end this god-awful disease that has taken too many of our family members, too many of our loved ones. My grandmother passed in 1994 from colon cancer, and a piece of me died that day. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Because there's not a check I wouldn't write. There's not a mountain I wouldn't climb to have one more hug, just like you. And so what we have an opportunity to do is to do something that stands for something. So I call on you to ask yourself where you sit, where you are now, what can you do for these two great causes? What will you do for them? And let's do something that stands for something. We have that ability, and we're not done yet. And they want to talk about how divided we are. They want to talk about how we have all these differences. I'm so sick and tired of hearing about it because we have more alike than we've got lacking in common. You got families, I got families. Quit trying to tell me what I don't know. I already know that you love just like I do. And we're going to keep loving because they can't count us out. My love doesn't come from the news. It comes from our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I've gone on too long, and my boys are about to tase me. They're old enough now. But I thank you all for your attention. Thank you for taking a chance to come out. And I get to do one more introduction. It's rare that you get a chance to meet an Olympic hero and a good man like we had in Scott Hamilton. But tonight we get an opportunity to also hear from an icon. And I'm talking about a man that has won Song of the Year, Musician of the Year. And when he saw me, he's so humble, he told me, Chris, don't go through all that. Shut up, Gary. I'm bigger than you. He's one of Nashville's most successful songwriters for over 2 decades. That's not an accident. Most decorated, kind man. The man is a music legend. And when you're blessed like we are to have an opportunity to hear from someone who's been blessed with the talent that he has and his humility and his ability to share it with the heart that he has, it's a blessing. So would you all please help me welcome Nashville's icon to the stage, Mr. Gary Chapman.
Not quite ready yet. You should keep that going. What have you done? Scott, wait, here we go. So this is an amazing room. I've had such a fun perspective just to sit here and see everything that's happening here. But from this vantage point, I've been watching you guys all night long, and you're a good bunch. Trust me, I've had really awful crowds in my life. This is not one of them. This is awesome. So I wrote a song. It wasn't 2 decades, just for the record. I've been in town for 45 years this year. I moved here when I was 19, and yeah, you do the math. I have 4 kids, by the way. 4. I have a 34-year-old son, daughters 32, 30, and 8. I'm that guy. Everybody whines about 2020, what a horrible, horrible year it was. And my wife and I spent the whole year just looking at each other and giggling because October 9th, 2019, some fabulous folks over at St. Jude took a tumor about that big out of our little girl's brain. And our favorite word in the English language is benign. But man, what a horrible ride that was. Good grief. So this time of year, it happens every single year. It's happened, I counted it up, wrote this song 34 years ago, I think, 35 years ago. And I have to relearn it every stinking year because I was aggressive and I put way too many chords in this thing. So I forget it from one year to the next. But I got it, I think. However, quick explanation. If you haven't heard the song, I don't know what you're doing in this state, but the first verse talks about how, sure hope it snows, because everybody wants it to snow at Christmas, right? Probably not going to snow here. It's rare, but I know it's snowing in Colorado, so why don't we go, right? And then the first chorus is essentially saying, yeah, no, let's just stay home. And the second verse is saying, hey, let's go somewhere warm. Let's go to California. Okay. I sing this song everywhere I go this time of year. It's a must. I get it. But the first time I did it this year, I was like, no, I cannot do this. I try my best to be honest about what comes out of me, what I present. And that's just not true. I am surrounded, where I live in Franklin, my neighborhood, I'm surrounded by people who moved there because they thought the second verse of Tennessee Christmas was wrong. So, I have amended it. And if you know it, sing. You don't know the second verse because I just wrote it. Come on, weatherman, give us a forecast, snowy white. Can't you hear the prayer of every childlike heart tonight? Rockies are calling, Denver snow falling. Somebody said it's 4 feet deep, but it doesn't matter. Give me the laughter, I'm gonna choose to keep another tender Tennessee Christmas, the only Christmas for me, where the love circles around us like the gifts around our tree. Well, I know there's more snow up in Colorado than my roof will ever see, but a tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. Every now and then I get a wandering urge to see be Christmas beach for me. No mask required, no one gets fired. The Santa's Claus waits there for me. Sure sounds exciting, awfully inviting. Still I think I'm gonna keep another tender Tennessee Christmas, the only Christmas for me, where the love circles around us like the gifts around our tree. Well, it's nice on the beach, a margarita in reach, and the kids are running free. But a tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. Tender Tennessee Christmas is the only Christmas for me. Thanks. I've got a friend that's actually going to walk that into Governor DeSantis' office in the morning and play it for him. And I don't know what I get out of that, but I hope it's something really good. So I had a good friend of mine, songwriter buddy, text me a title about a month and a half ago. And I looked at it, and I immediately called him. I said, okay, have you sent this to anybody else? Because I know this town. I have been here a long time, and there's a lot of songwriters. And if you've still got two brain cells slapping against each other and a pencil, you can write this. And he said, no, I haven't. I said, well, don't. And I finished it in about an hour, and I recorded it at a buddy's house the next day. Video about, I don't know, probably a mile and a half from where we're standing right here. I love Columbia, by the way. Did a video for it. It was on iTunes the next day. I mean, the social media, I mean, all the powers that be hate me. Just totally. You'll find out why in a minute. But despite that, it's really striking a nerve, and it's hilarious. So, first of all, you should know, it's not really anti-vax. It's just pro-freedom. My wife and I have both had COVID. Thank God it was relatively a non-event for us. For 3 or 4 days, everything tasted like a rice cake, and I kind of felt a little bit off, but whatever. And that was it, thank God. And at this point in our lives, we much prefer to choose our God-given immunity over a government-given solution of dubious, never mind, I won't go there. But it was when they started talking about forcing my little girl to do that, and it just pissed me off. It made me really mad. It coincided perfectly. Blame God, I do, with this title showing up. So here you go. Take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. We ain't woke, but we're wide awake and know what freedom's for. Joe in the swamp done poked the bear, so we're showing them the door. Take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. Fauci lied and told us all to take one for the team. With fake news, he sold us all a stinking pile of steam. The CDC can KMA for all the things they did. but they're nuttier than hell to think you're gonna shoot that crap in our kids. Take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. We ain't woke, but we're wide awake and know what freedom's for. Joe in the swamp done poked the bears, so we're showing them the door. Take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. Now what gives you the right to tell us there's no value in our voice? What in this world happened to my body, my choice? Joe's policies all suck, from Mexico to Afghanistan. How can you go left every time and not be a NASCAR fan? Let's go, Brandon, take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. We ain't woke, but we're wide awake and know what freedom's for. Joe in the swamp done poked the bear, so we're showing them the door. Take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. The cops and docs and firemen, the heroes dressed in green, the truckers and the pilots, and the millions in between. We, the people, still believe that some things stay the same. Our freedom comes from God, and that ain't ever gonna change. Take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. We ain't woke, but we're wide awake and know what freedom's for. Joe in the swamp done poked the bear, so we're showing them the door. Take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. Take this jab and shove it. We ain't buying this no more. So I could see your faces through that whole thing. I know which ones of you hate me. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. That's America. You got every right to be really mad at me for singing that song. That's the point. Okay. So, cancer just sucks. The experience with my daughter was the latest adventure. My dad lived with me and my wife until he died in our house Easter Sunday morning, right at sunrise, 2009. He was a preacher his whole life, small town Texas preacher. 8th grade education, but way smarter than most of the people I've met. He read everything. He had Parkinson's for 8 years, and then the last 2, cancer thrown in just to make it interesting, I guess. I don't know. But it was the very best horrible experience I've had. He lost use of his legs the last year and a half or so of his life. And basically, I'm sure the first year and a half of my life, he put me to bed and changed my diaper, and I got a chance to return the favor. And it was amazing. So putting him to bed, my brother and I had an ongoing war about who was better at it because he was really picky about, because when you can't move, it gets really important. If you get the pillow in the wrong spot, it's going to ruin the whole night, So there was a process, and I was going through the process one night. And the whole time I was doing it, I was just whining about whatever was going on in my life that day. I don't even remember what it was. But I was kind of halfway just talking with him, but really I was just whining. And I went over, I get him all tucked in, got everything just right, got the shoulder pulled this way, and you got to get the pillow between the knees, and I got it all perfect. And I leaned over and kissed him on the forehead and just said, "I love you, Dad." I was walking out the door, and just as my hand hit the light, this voice that Parkinson's had gotten most of came out of the darkness. He said, "Son, you just got to put that in God's hands." Okay, he probably said that to me, I don't know how many thousands of times in my life, because I've been an idiot a lot of times, and I needed to put a lot of things in God's hands. But that moment, it hit me like a brick. And I went up and I wrote this. This is not funny. Where'd you start your journey? Where'd you get that load? What made you think you were the only traveler? There's billions of us out here. You were never by yourself. All you had to do was bend your knee and ask for a little help. Put it in his hands. There ain't nothing you ought to hold on to. Put it in his hands. He can take care of that for you. Try to understand. There are just some things you have to pass on through. You're part of the plan. It's just to put it in his hands. I've been up that mountain, down the other side. It probably wouldn't hurt me much to climb it one more time. You might need some company, I might need some too. And if I stumble, remind me the truth I just told you, to put it in his hands. There ain't nothing you ought to hold on to. Put it in his hands. He can take care of that for you. Try to understand. When you think that there is nothing you can do, you can. Just put it in his hands. Little boy with a toy broke it like little boys do. Daddy can't fix it till the little boy's willing to. Put it in his hands. There ain't nothing you ought to hold on to. Put it in his hands. He can take care of that for you. Try to understand. There are just some things you have to pass on through. You're part of the plan. It's just to put it in his hands. There ain't nothing you ought to hold on to. Put it in his hands. He can take care of that for you. Try to understand. There are just some things you have to pass on through. You're part of the plan. Just to put it in his hand. Just put it in his hand. Go on and put it in his hand. Thank y'all.
Gary Chapman, one more time. Come on, folks. Gary's going to be back and sing something just a little bit to help us wrap up the evening. But coming to the stage right now is, man, Jeff has been bringing comedy to this world for several decades. And, man, he's just a special talent. Welcome, Mr. Jeff Allen. Come on, Jeff.
I'd like to thank Gary Chapman for cheering him up right before I come up here. That's always nice. Years ago, my favorite intro was for a NASCAR. I was doing a show for NASCAR, and right before they bring me up, they go, "Let's bow our head in prayer for so-and-so and so-and-so who died in a fiery crash last week." Now, here's the funny guy, Jeff Allen, you know. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. So. Anyway, I'm back there holding back tears so I can, anyway. Boy, it's nice to be here. Actually, it's nice to be home. I live in Fairview, so I commuted tonight, so that was nice. Yeah, almost died on Carter Creek Road. I guess apparently he's doing 75 miles an hour down that road, and at night is not a smart thing to do, you know. Yeah, so anyway, got my first cow, so. Anyway, I live in Fairview. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but we got our first traffic light like 10 years ago, and there were 9 accidents the first week the light was installed. Apparently, people who grew up there couldn't figure out why there was a floating red dot in the sky. Driving along, that's new, Edna. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I'm 65. I turned 65 in June. Thank you, Medicare. So I finally got health insurance, so if I offend anybody, feel free, punch me in the face. I got health coverage now. So. Got my card. My wife says, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm going to the doctor." She says, "What's wrong?" I go, "I don't know. $12, I'm going every day." You know. A lot of guys at my age go to the park, feed pigeons. I'm going to the urologist till something falls off. And I'm worried because my wife is getting involved in my health, and I worry because her father moved in with us after her mother passed away. And she took over his life. I mean, I'm telling you, 78-year-old man, all he wanted to do with the rest of his life was sit in one of my chairs, watch Gunsmoke, and eat ice cream. That's it. And 4 days into living his dream, his daughter got in his face and said, "If you think you're going to sit in that chair the rest of your life watching Gunsmoke, not on my watch." She took him down to Bellevue, signed him up for the YMCA Silver Sneakers exercise program. She dragged him down there every day, signed him in like he was an 8-year-old boy, signed him out like he was an 8-year-old boy. Then she made him eat vegetables. And trust me when I tell you, this man ain't had a vegetable in 50 years. And I'm watching him gag broccoli down. He's chewing it like it was gravel. He's like, "Ah." I said, "What's going on, Mike?" He goes, "I don't eat the broccoli, I don't get the ice cream." 78 years old. You think that would be enough? He'd go to sit down to watch Gunsmoke. She said, "Not now, buddy. Get up and walk." She made him walk every night after dinner. Walk the neighborhood. Walk. One night he face planted. I look out my window. He's laying in the street. We had to go to the emergency room. I'm at Williamson County Medical Center. Took him in. By the way, if you and your wife have a senior living with you and you got to go to the emergency room, you and your wife get your story straight before you get to the emergency room. Apparently, there was a difference in our versions of what living with us was like. His was like, "They're killing me! They're killing me! Save my life!" They separated my wife and I. It took me 5 minutes to figure out. You think I'm punching that old man? He saved my life. I'm golfing 5 days a week. She doesn't even know I'm out of the house. I love that man. "4 months he lived with us, and then I'm walking by, he's packing his suitcase. I go, "Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm out of here. I don't want to get married again." What? Can't leave. I got my handicap where I want it. I just, come on. I mention that because I have a 78-year-old neighbor, and we live, again, rural. We live in the country, so when her husband passed away. So you keep an eye on your neighbors in Tennessee. That's what I love about Tennessee. You keep an eye on your neighbor. And we were talking over the fence a few months ago, and she said, I had to take a cognitive test to get my license renewed. And I said, why? You're sharp as a tack. She is. Very sharp woman. And she said, well, I had a little problem with the memory thing. And I go, memory? What's that about? She said, well, they give you 5 things, and then 20 minutes later, you got to recall the 5 things. That's when my wife says to me, you'll never hang on to your license. I go, what? She goes, the Publix is 8 minutes from our house. You can't remember 3 things I give you when you get there. How many times you call me? And she's right, I can't. It's like, I'm always calling her, text me the stupid things. Anyway, I won't let her do it now. My pride, I'm studying for my cognitive test in 10 years. So I won't call her anymore. Now, granted, there are times I come home with 20 things, hoping that 3 things are in the 20. But I'm not calling her. So I saw this ad on TV for Prevagen. Are you familiar with Prevagen? It's a pill, some pill, a natural pill. And I was going to order it, and then I saw the key ingredient for this memory thing is the oil of a jellyfish. Jellyfish have good memories? Only time I've ever seen jellyfish is in Florida. They're on the shore gasping for life because they forgot to go back out with the tide. If they had hands, they'd be beating themselves in the head. We're forgetting something. What do we remember? Water! I think I'll pass. And I was thinking about it. Not all 78-year-olds are cognitively equal. I was thinking about our president. I was watching him at the... No, play. I'm just saying. I'm not going to hammer the guy. I'm just saying he went to the climate thing, and I was waiting to hear his speech, and I knew he was going to be sharp because he had a nap the day before. So I knew he was going to be sharp. And about 8 minutes into his speech, I paused the TV, and that's when I said to Tammy and my wife, I said, he looks like he'd be a lot happier watching Gunsmoke and eating ice cream. That's all I'm saying. Just saying. I don't think he wants to be there. So, anyway. So I mentioned I turned 65 in June. My wife got me a gift. 12 hours with a personal trainer named Todd at the Y. I'm not a big fan of exercise. Met Todd. Hi, I'm 2% body fat Todd. I go, well... Hey, 2%, I'm 80% flabby Jeff. How you doing? First question he asked me was, how long has it been since I had an exercise program? Well, let me ponder that, Toddo. Gonna take a while to do the math here. Let's see. I'm 65. Well, 65 years, 9 months. That's how long it's been. It really has. I told him the truth. I said, I have not moved with any purpose since I won the race at conception. I don't want to brag. Thank you. I don't want to brag, but I outran 4 billion that morning, Toddo. I was focused and zipping. Come to think of it, we've all won that race, have we not? Yes, be proud. Next time you're around one of your whiny little friends, I never win at nothing. Shut up, you won the big race. Do something with your life. If I sold merchandise, I would sell a t-shirt that said, I won the big race, with a smiley little cell down there. That way, when you're out in the public and people they'd get excited for you. You won, what'd you win? And then you tell them, I was first at conception that day. I was there. And to look at the disappointment in their face would be worth $20, I think. That's what I'm saying. We'd all exercise, if you think about it, if the weight we gained as people was in a different place on our bodies. I mean, if you analyze where we actually gain weight, our stomachs and our behinds, it's never really in our way. Wouldn't take but 2 pounds on your forehead to get you to a gym. That's it. I can't see nothing. You want a donut? Do I look like I want a donut? Are you kidding me? Everything goes right to my skull. Get out of here. Does Spanx make a hat? I need a Spanx cap. And my wife is dieting. She's on a diet. She's on keto. We've tried Atkins. We've tried paleo. Now she wants to get into ketosis. If you don't know what ketosis is, that's where your body begins to eat itself. I mentioned to her there's a flesh-eating virus out there. If you could find out where it is, lick a few doorknobs, you can eat all the pizza you want, baby. You know, that's right. Yeah. Once again, God provides. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. We went keto grocery shopping. Apparently you got special grocery. Keto's an Italian word, means same grocery costs twice as much. It's special, you know, it's special. And I'm unpacking them and I'm putting them away and I come across rice cakes. Now, I've never seen a rice cake in our home. I see the word cake on the package. And I called her out on it. I said, sweetheart, I thought cake was a no-no with keto. She says, that's for a cheat day. I said, what's a cheat day? She said, 6 days a week we do keto. 1 day we go off and we eat whatever we want. I go, I like that. I want you to know you married a supportive man. If you wanted to do, say, I don't know, 4 cheat days in a week, I wouldn't look down my nose at you. So I had 2 days of keto. I had 48 hours of keto, and I felt my body beginning to devour itself. And I got frightened, and I knew I needed something. And I remembered we have cake. That's what I remember. So I zip to the pantry. I pull out the rice cakes. I'm feeling the rice cake, you know, it kind of feels like a brake pad, you know, I don't know. But it's cake, how bad could it be, right? You know, I took a bite, never made it to my throat. Ugh. Sweet, these are stale. She says, no, that's the way they are. I go, this isn't cake, it's caulk, for gosh sakes. It's not food, it's insulation. It should be in our walls, saving us money on heating and air. I'm not eating this garbage. I gave the rest of them to our dogs. All 3 of our dogs, they scarfed them up. They love them. Dogs love rice cakes. Hour later, each one of them passed me a Yeti in my front yard. So just saying. Just saying. I needed an ending to the rice cake story. So. Can't keep up with the food. Can you keep up with the food? When we were kids, it was food, right, sir? It was food, right? Got something on your plate, you look at it, you say to your mom or dad, what is that? Food, eat it. And you waited because some kid in China was starving. That's all you knew. Did that work on anybody? I'm not eating these eggs. There's a kid in China starving. Oh, he's not getting my eggs. Give them to him. I don't care. Now it's GMO, non-GMO, organic, non-organic, gluten, gluten-free. Kale. Kale. Lord help me, where did kale come from? I'm 65, I've never seen it. Now it's ubiquitous. I'm telling you, it's like kudzu growing in my home. Did your wife ever give you kale chips? Kale chips? She did? That's because she loves you. If you don't know what kale chips are, they're kale leaves spread out on a cookie sheet evenly, put in the oven on singe. Tammy pulls out this smoldering tray of weeds, lobs a handful on a plate. I said, what is that? She goes, kale chips. I said, it's a brush fire. Are you kidding me? By the way, if you're going to cook kale chips, cook them in coconut oil. They slide into the trash so much easier that way. A lot quicker. I tried to give the kale chips to our dogs. Our dogs wouldn't touch the kale chips. Our dogs eat the cat litter, folks. When you have a creature in your home that'll eat cat chips, but won't eat kale chips, that's all you need to know about kale chips. And that's another. Our dog food costs $80 a bag. $80 a bag for dog. And I love the commercial. We've scoured the earth for the finest ingredients for your dog. And I look at all 3 of our dogs sitting there with cat litter stuck to their lips. Well, I'm so glad you 3 are sharing that delicacy. That's another thing. We had to get a cat. We live in the country. You have mice. You can't get rid of mice. You know that. You can control them, but you can't get rid of them. And she's obsessed. I'm telling you, my wife sits in bed. I can hear them down, the little furry thing scratching around there. It's driving me nuts. I said, what's your problem? She goes, that's her craft room is downstairs. She said, there's mouse poop all over the place. I said, well, get the dogs down there. It's an appetizer, for God's sakes. They'll clean it right up. I don't want another animal. So anyway, she broke me down. I finally said, all right, get a cat. So what she does, she goes out and buys a cat. She bought a cat. Bought a cat. Because Lord knows you cannot get a free cat anywhere in North America. Are you kidding? We live in Tennessee. They're flying out of pickup trucks all over the state, for God's sakes. Driving down the road. Rah! If we had a net baby, we had another one. Look at that. And I'm not going to trash the cat. I don't get cats. I do not. I get dogs. My dogs love me. All three of them. They fight over to get close to me. I mean, I can go to the mailbox and come back. It's like I've been gone a month. Oh! You know. I saw this on Instagram. I don't know who created it. It was a meme. But I'll tell you, this says it all. They said, lock your wife and your dog in the trunk of your car. Come back an hour later and see who's glad to see you. Right? That's all you need to know. And the cat is just there. It's just there. It's just there. I mean, come here. Nah, you know, come here. Fetch something. Do something. And I don't know why, but he chooses to walk up my chest sometimes in the morning. 5 o'clock, he'll walk up, put his face right up against my face with that motor that... and that tuna breath. Apparently, the cat is waking me up to show me his rear end. That's all I know. Because as soon as I open my eyes, he goes, what do you think of that, buddy, huh? I've been waiting all night. It's a work of art. So, I gotta check the time here. My wife, my son, my oldest boy, married a hippie girl, a full-blown hippie from Minnesota, granola crunching hippie, and we love her to death. She's amazing, but she's a little odd. I mean, we would go to pick the granddaughters up, and they were always running the yard in their underwear, eating dirt. Basically, I mean, it's just they always had mud dripping off their faces. Why do you eat so much dirt? Mommy said there's minerals. I go, well, food has minerals too. Somebody, you know, here's a biscuit. Eat that. You know. And Tammy was bothered by the clothing thing. They're always in their underwear. She says, why do they never dress? We buy them clothing. How come? I said, well, they look happy, you know. It's Fairview. Nobody notices. And then Tammy says, well, she's starting first grade. She's going to have to get dressed for that. And I go, well. Unless she comes downstairs one morning and self-identifies as a mannequin, then it's all over. It's a joke. Don't email me. Anyway, we got in an argument over sugar. Long story short, she wouldn't let us feed our grandchildren sugar. And she finally caved, and she said, you can get them non-GMO organic fruit roll-ups. That's what you can give our children. I don't even know what a fruit roll-up is. I'd ask some kid at the grocery store. I take them home. I open one up. I lay it on the table. Tammy comes in and says, what's that? I go, believe it or not, food. You could patch a flat bicycle tire with that thing. You know. And my daughter-in-law says, well, they're made with real fruit. I said, well, so is real fruit made with real fruit. And you won't let us give them fruit. She said, because you and your wife buy the wrong kind of fruit. I said, what are you talking about? We buy the stuff God created. It grows on trees. She says it's got pesticides. She's afraid of pesticides. Are you kidding me? America, we grew up and you know what I'm talking about. My mother used to give me mercury to play with on the kitchen table. Here, Jeff, there's a puddle of toxic waste and a lead paint chip. Have some fun. We had mercury in everything. I had mercury. I just got rid of 3 mercury fillings I had put in when I was in 20-something. I got more mercury in me right now than a school of salmon. Remember mercurochrome? Remember that? That was mercury. They poured it into an open wound. If you don't know what young people, mercurochrome was the precursor to chemo. That's what it was. Mom would take the lid off the jar and 17 flies would fall from the sky dead. And then Bactine, if that would remember Bactine, man, that hurt more than the gash. To take my mind off the pain of the Bactine, my mother would stab me in the eye with an ice pick. That's, you know, or don't look. So I'd play with this Mercury. Whatever didn't fall on the floor, she'd scrape into my tuna. I'd have it for lunch. And then I would take a bath, put on my asbestos pajamas, and go to bed. So, and look how I turned out. Now I can't get peanuts on an airplane because little Joey 7 rows back might get some peanut dust on his elbow and drop dead. Can someone explain to me where all these peanut allergies came from in America? You remember one kid, not one kid in your neighborhood. Now I'm telling you, terrorists do not need to blow up another building in America. Take over the Planters factory and crop dust Atlanta. Wipe out a third of the millennials overnight. And if you have a peanut allergy, don't send me an email. Anyway. I met my wife when she was 30. I was 30. She was 25. This will shock you young people. How old are you, young lady? No, I'm pointing at the young lady there. I wouldn't ask. What? You're 9. Look at this face. This is your future. If that doesn't get you on your knees repenting, nothing will. I married my wife. I was 30 years old. She was 25. This will shock you, young people, but our bodies have changed. How we've handled the change is completely different. Tammy's obsessed with these non-existent black hairs on her lip. I'm telling you, you can't see a thing. And she stands in the living room some nights going, "Oh, how you can kiss me. I'm a wildebeest. Look at all this hair all over this thing. I'm disgusting." I go, "Babe, I can't see a thing." She goes, "You're not looking." She takes me into the bedroom. She's got a makeup mirror. Have you seen the makeup mirror? Magnifies by like 8,000. You can see the hair on a gnat's leg with this thing. And then she plugs in the light. My Lord, I could bring ships in from the fog with this much light. I had a Cessna land on my front lawn. Sorry, thought it was an airport. And she sits there with tweezers. I'm disgusting. I'm a vile human being. Look at this. And I go, "Babe, let me help you out." And I unplug everything. I go, "Look, they're gone. You can't see a thing." And she says, "But they're there." I go, "But you can't see them." She goes, "But I know they're there." Are you kidding me? You want to live that way? That'd be like me going to a hotel room with a black light, turning off all the lights and going over my comforter. Oh my God! Oh! I'd never sleep laying down again. I'd be a horse in a corner just standing there. If I don't see them, they're not there. Here's how I handle my body at 65. I get out of the shower, I look in the mirror, and then I keep walking. That's it. I want to live to be 80. That's the number. You got to find reasons, right, sir? You got to find reasons to live. My father gave up on life after my mother passed away. It was sad to watch. Not me. I'm going to live to be 80. You got to find a purpose and a point. When I'm 80, I can go to a nude beach. Tammy and I have accidentally wandered onto 2 nude beaches in our marriage. And both times, all we saw were a couple of 80-year-old guys naked standing there looking. So apparently 80's the age a man gets out of the shower and goes, "Yeah, the world's ready for me now, baby." You guys have been great. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you.
All right, Jeff Allen, people. Come on. Thank you, Jeffrey. All right, we're going to end with a little music here coming up. Everybody getting in place. But Michael, why don't you come up and grab a microphone, my friend? Michael Carnes, this is his vision. And let's give a hand to Michael Carnes, who's producing this event. Tell us a little bit about everything.
Well, I'm not normally the one in the front, but I just wanted to say that we're all givers tonight, and we're giving to 2 great charities, and these fantastic performers have given of their heart. Let's give them a hand. God gave us all in our DNA the ability to give and serve, and you're doing that now. They're doing that, and we need to continue to do that because there's great charities, great situations out there, like A Soldier's Child, like Scott's Cares Foundation, and there's many more, and that's kind of what my company's about, is to help others, And that's why you're here, because we're helping these people that couldn't help themselves. So that's what we need to be. So there's the giving, we got to give. We have to give. If we have the ability to give talents, give our talents, give our money, give if you need to give coats, things. If we would just give to each other and serve each other, how much better would this country be?
Amen.
All right? So we're going to finish with a couple of piano things, a little caroling that you can do, and then we're going to finish with a song that is, we talk about the birth of Jesus in Christmas, but then I also want to talk about the why of Jesus. And Gary and the gang are going to lead us in a song that kind of gives us the why. So bless you all. Thank you for giving. Thank you for being here. And who wants to do this next year?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, Paul, Gary?
Thank you, Michael. Those who are watching live streaming online, please give to Scott Cares Foundation, to the Soldier's Child. We thank you for joining us, and we're going to do a little something more together. Also, for those of you that are here in this room, Rick Roberts has some DVDs of a movie that he made. It's a Mayberry movie. You can see him completely dressed as Barney Fife. And all the proceeds of those will also go to the cause tonight. So if you want to take one of those home with you, maybe give a few away for Christmas, and whatever you want to donate over there, all that money will be collected here as well. So Alex, you're going to lead us into some caroling.
That's right. You know, we laughed, we cried tonight, and this really hit home for me because the past 6 months, my mom has been on a colon cancer journey, and she had a surgery that went really, really well, and we thank God for that. It was a few weeks ago, and she's here tonight. So very thankful for that. Amen. But you know, here's what I'd like you to do. Let me ask you this question. How many of you like to sing? How many of you like to sing in the shower? We want everybody. We're going to turn this into a mass choir here, okay? So you're going to see the verse of Little Town of Bethlehem. During that time, I'd like you to think about and pray for someone that you know that has been affected by cancer. And just really have them on your mind in prayer. Now I'm going to play Worry Christmas, and I'll get you to stand, and we're going to sing a medley of Christmas carols. Here we go, Maestro. With us, joy to the world, the Lord has come. Here we go, sing out hard. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and
So there are words to what we're about to do on the back of this piece on your table there. This is a great song. This takes Jesus out of the manger and puts him right in this room. I just want to speak the name of Jesus over every heart and every mind. 'Cause I know there is peace within your presence. I speak Jesus. I just want to speak the name of Jesus till every dark addiction starts to break, declaring there is hope and there is freedom. Yes, speak Jesus. Your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Break every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. I just want to speak the name of Jesus over fear and all anxiety, to every soul held captive by depression. I speak Jesus. Your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Break every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. Shout Jesus in the morning, Jesus in the streets, Jesus in the darkness over every enemy. Jesus for my family, speak the holy name of Jesus. Shout Jesus from the mountains, Jesus in the streets, Jesus in the darkness over every enemy. Jesus for my family, I speak the holy name of Jesus. Your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Shake every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. Your name is power, your name is healing, your name is life. Break every stronghold, shine through the shadows, burn like a fire. I just want to speak the name of Jesus over every heart and every mind. Love is news, peace and there's presence. I speak Jesus. I just want to speak the name of Jesus over every heart and every mind. 'Cause I know there's peace within your presence. I speak Jesus. I speak Jesus. I speak Jesus. Speak it out.
Thank you all so much for being a part of this first annual event. God bless you.